Hi there, welcome back. Today we are beginning phase 2 of paper mache. Ingrid and I let our sculptures dry out for the evening. So great, Ingrid. It's our new puppy that you have yet to meet, but one day will in real life. My bunny, I did a little bit of customizing so that it actually can sit up now, and Ingrid's is great on all fours standing. Cute. BFFs for life. Today we are going to add our first layer of paint onto our sculptures. I went up on my bookshelf and found a visual for what I'm kind of going for. This is a marsh rabbit, which is, that's the type of rabbit that we have here in Montlake. And so I'm gonna use this picture right here as inspiration. It was done by John Audubon, one of the most famous naturalists in all of history. He was around in the 1800s and was really like a nature detective and recorded every bit of wildlife he could find. Some of it was taxidermy, meaning it was dead and stuffed, but he would often sit out in what we call the field and look for unique and never before seen or recorded animals, and his work is found all over the world. You might recall the beautiful pink flamingo poster that we have in the art studio. So I'm using an image of his marsh rabbit. I'm going to be looking at this, and I think, Ingrid, you're going to be working from real life.
Yep.
Okay. What you're gonna need today are brushes. You might want a visual like I have. I'm gonna pick some bigger brushes because today Ingrid and I think, are just going to start with a base layer of paint. We also have our trusty palette. We have an extra big one. You can use any old plate. You can use a little watercolor palette. We have our bowl of water, and
I'm gonna go get my visual.
we might, what?
I'm getting my visual.
We might be short on paper towel or toilet paper or bleach, but we are wealthy in paints. That's right. We have all different types of paints here. I think we're going to be working in acrylic, which is the type that stains your clothing. So we put our work clothing on, and we're going to probably do a little lesson in mixing right now. We're going to pick the colors that we are going to be using. I'm going to need a little bit of white.
I'll be using white, black.
I'll be using some brown, black. We're going to pick some natural colors here, it looks like.
Silvery gray.
Silvery gray. I'm going to be doing kind of a brownish marsh rabbit, so I'm going to want some browns. White, black.
I think that's about it.
I think we're good. Let's get started.
Okay.
Okay, so we're working from our own palettes today, it looks like. We are going to be mixing. I like to start with a little blob of white. You just need like a thumbprint. If you have tempera paint at home, which is just the easy washable paint like what we use at school, that works great too for this project. We just happen to have all these acrylics on hand. I'm going to put a little blob of that white because I don't want to waste it. I'm going to do a little blob of brown. This is burnt umber. And this one is raw umber. Let's see the difference. I think it's a little darker. Just need a little dab.
I've got my grayish black.
You've got your grayish black. So when you're mixing black, really you just need a dot of black, right? Because the black is so strong that it will overpower your white. It'll be hard to get a gray. So I'm going to take this, and I start out with my white, do a little dot of brown. I don't know if you can see that. And here we go. So I'm not going to worry about things like eyes and whiskers. I'm going to give this bunny a big, nice layer of paint, really covering up all signs that this was ever a newspaper. I'm doing nice brush strokes, nice and smooth. Really making sure that I get all those cracks. Okay, looking good. Let's fast forward this.
Okay.
Oh wait, gotta lower it.
There we go. No, that was perfect. How you have it. There.
Okay. Sit up straight. Okay, you wanna push it?
I already pushed it.
Oh. Hey, the sun came out. Our pieces are dry. They're ready for detail. They look great. Ingrid, wow. All surfaces covered. Remember, this is a 3D object, so when somebody turns it over, you want to make sure that you have paint right there. Oops. I have picked out a little palette and put some basic colors that I'm going to do my details, like a nose and whiskers and fur. I want to pick a different color and mix some different colors than this so they actually show up. This part, you're gonna need a finer brush. Remember, we're doing details, which are the tiny bits. So we are going to want a tinier brush than we used to do the bigger areas on our animal. Okay? So let's see. We have a little palette here with some basic animal colors. You can do your animal whatever color you like. I guess Ingrid and I both chose more realistic colors. And we're just gonna get in here and start decorating. If you have a visual that you're using, I'm gonna start off with my eyes just because that's what I always do. If you're using acrylic paint, you wanna be sure to have some kind of towel or something around so that you can dry your brush. You don't wanna get your brush too watery. And I saw that Ingrid had a little red here. I'm gonna make a little pink for my nose, even though the bunnies around here aren't pink nosed.
Some of them are.
Some of them kind of are. I'm gonna make a little pink bunny nose.
I'm doing a dog harness.
Ingrid is doing the harness, sweet. Our puppy's name is Osa now. That means bear in Spanish. And she reminds us of a little bear, especially when she pounces around. She looks like a little bear cub. And so that's her name today. Who knows, maybe it'll change tomorrow. We can't call her Little Doofus anymore though. She's starting to answer to it. So we've got to really lock a name down. Okay, so I've got my nose. I'm gonna let those whites of the eyes dry, because if I try to add color on top of those white dots, it'll start getting all blurry and messed up. We've all done that before. And then I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna just do some little dashed lines to give the appearance of fur. Now, I'm not a super realistic painter, so I just kind of like to do this to add some texture lines. I know some of you want it to look exactly like fur and might do much smaller lines. I'm just doing little, kind of just giving it that, the appearance of fur. What are you gonna work on next, Ingrid?
Well, I'm doing the nose.
Okay, the nose.
/ snout.
Now remember, it's 3D, so you want to get all over. You want to get the tummy parts. This is kind of the fun, relaxing part.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to add, I kind of like to skip around because I get tired of doing the same fur all at once. I'm going to be sure to add claws.
Is that good for her nose?
Yeah, that looks great. Our puppy has some gray around her nose, and that looks, you're doing a really nice job mixing those colors. So I noticed, what did you mix in with the black to get that nice shade?
Bright white.
I thought you added some silver too.
Oh yeah, I added silver too.
If you are able to get a kit online, like a paint set, this is Liquitex, and it's really good. This is a nice little size. There's also a bigger tube size and then a really big tube size. If you are getting paints, especially if you're getting acrylics, I would get a bigger tube of the white because you just black. And black, but black goes a little further. White, we were really surprised how much paint this required when we did our base layer. So I'm gonna kind of mix this up. I've got a couple of colors of brown, and just so that I can add some depth, I'm going to mix another brown, and let's see what it looks like when we pop that in. I'm gonna do a pattern
to show her very curly, wavy fur.
Oh, you're doing swirls? Hold it up so that people can...
Here.
I'm just kind of giving some swirls. Good idea for texture. Bunnies, most of them do not have curly fur. Maybe the Angora bunny does. But these marsh bunnies, we have seen them all over. The bunnies are having a huge comeback right now. It's awesome. That is what we call a silver lining to quarantine. Not only is the air fresh, but the grasses are growing because things aren't being mowed as much. And I'm expecting to see a deer walking down the street at any moment. That would be neat. I read in the paper that at Yellowstone Park, they're having more bears than they've ever had in the park. I don't know if they're just coming out from remote locations in the park, but that's a really neat thing about all of the humans staying inside and staying off of their land. Now they don't have to social distance. They can come out and roam their forest and not worry about some family from Montlake coming up on them and scaring them. All right, I'm liking this. So you're getting the gist of it. There's a little bit of fur. I'm gonna go around. Sometimes bunnies have like a white chest or white tummy. We will come back to you in a few minutes. Here we are. Final phase, the phase where you get to play with your sculpture. Hi, I really like your harness. Thanks. I really like your big floppy ears. Okay, we're getting a little cabin crazy. I think the sculpture has turned out really, really great. Ingrid got hers to balance on all fours, has this great little stubby tail detail. And mine is standing. It's a little rickety. Doesn't work that way, but it does sit up on its hind legs. I got some fur texture in there. Ingrid added some great detail with her harness. Lots of fun. I hope you are happy with your sculpture, whatever you made. Please take a picture and load it up on our school page so that everyone can see the fantastic talent that lives and breathes at Montlake Elementary. Oh, there's your twin. Someone's probably going to eat it when we're not looking. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time in the art studio with Ms. Lundgren.